Hi Krishna.
Hi,
Uh,
Venkatesh.
Thanks a lot for joining. Viewers, Krishna is doing his Masters of Engineering in Computer Science from University of Waterloo. And as like always say that those who have not yet subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel, and the Stumble Meet is a channel for those exploring their higher education. Now let's get into the channel's video. Krishna, can you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Sure, Venkatesh. Thank you so much for hosting me today. And hello, everyone. So, let me introduce myself first. So, I'm Krishna Kant, currently studying my master's in electrical and computer engineering. It's more like computer engineering at University of Waterloo. Before moving to Canada for my master's, I have worked in Deloitte for around 4 years in software domain as a front-end developer and also in automation testing. And I have done my bachelor's in electronics and communication engineering from Hyderabad itself, so from India. So that's about myself.
We would like to know your journey, Krishna, from as someone did in an undergraduation in electronics and communication engineering. How did you find the shift in working in Deloitte and then to a Masters of Engineering in Computer Science? Can you please tell us about your journey?
Sure. I have done my undergrad in electronics and communication engineering. So that's not so, like computer science oriented. But at least I have like the zeal in myself, like to more like coding and stuff. And I was like more into that. And on the same lines, I had at least like a couple of subjects in my undergraduation as well, like, like C, C++ and Java and stuff. So data structures. So with that, I just gave my interview in Deloitte and, like then I joined Deloitte, and it was not so smooth experience, I would say, like the transition, but over the time, like while working, and I just had a good experience with Deloitte as well, so it was
Uh,
good.
right. How did the experience in Deloitte help you in getting admission for the Masters of Engineering in Computer Science from Waterloo? What is the admission criteria, and how your work experience helped in getting the admissions?
The admission criteria, specifically in University of Waterloo, and at least to my course right now I am in. IELTS is the only mandatory course that's necessary, and IELTS, and then I scored around like seven overall score of seven in IELTS, and at that time of admissions, I was also planning for USA, so I already had my GRE score with me. I had my GRE score around like 310, which is like not a mandatory score, but it was an optional score in University of Waterloo. So for my admission, I submitted both the scores, IELTS and GRE. GRE is optional. And apart from that, undergrad was in electronics and communication, and I am doing a switch to electrical and computer engineering. It's like more like computer side. So personally, my experience in software domain and also at Deloitte, so it really helped because I could show or portray that experience in my SOP very clearly, and and could relate those the work that I have done in Deloitte. I could relate it to the work I mean like the to the courses that I'm going to take in my master's. So I just tried to link it that way in the SOP. So that helped a really good thing.
Right. Was there any minimum requirement that was expected from your bachelor's degree? The GPA, was it expected? How was it?
As far as I remember, IELTS is around like 6.5 overall score that's recommended. I mean, like for the course, master's course, and GPA in specific, I think it's around like 75 plus is what I remember specifically. So, and I had a good GPA as well, so that was also a plus point to me.
Right, right. The how was the process of after getting the admission, coming to Canada? How can you please give us some idea on the process of coming to Canada? How do you prepare yourself to
Sure.
come to Canada?
Yeah. So actually, it was a rough journey, I would say, because it was like during the COVID time. So I had to defer my admission for two times. Like I got my admit in fall 2020 admit, and then but I deferred it to like the January, and then I deferred it to May because of all the COVID thing, and because I wanted some in-person experience at the university, and also I wanted to travel to Canada, and it was not possible during the fall 2020 time. So then I just deferred it a bit and moved to Canada then around like August 2021. I did one term in back in India online, and then all the rest 3 terms I'm right now in Canada and in the university. So I'm
Okay.
right now even now in the university.
Okay, okay.
So
Was there
yeah.
any challenge in getting the student visa processed because of this COVID, and how is there any way to manage that? Any tips and way to come around?
So yes, I mean like at that time, I mean like that time due to COVID, it was like little like little problematic, and even with the fast track process, even with the like the SDS process, even then it was like taking a lot of time for the visas to be approved. It took around like 5 months. It took me around 5 months for the visa approval. But now I think the process is really quick, and I think maybe around like 1 or 2 months, I think you're getting the visa approvals and stuff. So it's not bad enough, but it was like little rough at that time, and now it's good, really good.
Right, right. So, tell us about your master's program. So, what does it focus specifically? More into computer science, but also little on electrical. Is that what you said, Krishna?
So Venkatesh, so it is more like my course is like Master of Engineering, MEng, in Electrical and Computer Engineering, and it is a course-based program, and we have to complete like around 8 courses for the whole program to complete. Of those 8 courses, 5 courses should be chosen from the EC department itself, like from the computer engineering department itself, and those courses are very flexible. I know, like the domain that you want to enter, like either it can be software domain, or either you want to enter into cybersecurity, AI side, or into like more into like electrical stuff, power electronics and stuff. Even that kind of courses can be chosen. So it's more like it is a like it encompasses all the courses. So it's all the track that we would like to choose in it. It's all the courses that we would like to choose. So it's like 5 courses should be chosen from the EC department, and the rest 3 courses we can choose it from any department. Like, so 8 courses to be completed. Of that, 5 from EC, 3 from any department. So it's all based on us, like which track we would like to choose. We can explore all the courses, and we can just choose the best thing for us.
Right, right. So, is programming knowledge mandatory for this course? If so, what programming language are people expected to be well versed when they come attending this course? Yeah.
So if they're really focusing on software side, like or ML AI side, then yes, I would say at least C++ or Java would be like recommended, or Python. Python, if you are really focusing on AI ML side, then yeah, Python would also help it a bit. It's not like mandatory, but a little knowledge in that C++ or Java, and a little bit on Python would help it in the courses during the software courses in specific during the course. But if they are planning to go into the electrical stuff, then it's not so mandatory thing.
Okay. So since just wanted to know, since there was an AI mention, I just wanted to know how much of weightage of the course can one expected from AI? How much percentage can one expect to learn about AI when they join this course, when they take those subjects?
So specifically in our department, in my course, we have like around 8 specializations offered, which is not a mandatory thing. Like the specialization is not a mandatory. We can even do the generic kind of thing. But specializations offered, like AIML is one specialization offered. Software specialization is offered, and also there is like power electronics, cyber security. They're also offered. So it's all based on the courses that we choose, and the domain that we want to enter. And specifically, if it is like AI/ML side, then they give a good foundation. I would say it's not like everything. It doesn't cover everything, but to the data side, to a little bit of statistics, and those are also covered, and also a little bit of like the algorithms, AI/ML, like base algorithms, at least to understand the basics and stuff. So it gives a good coverage, I would say. Even to the software side, it gives a good coverage, I would say, like in terms of not like basic courses are not like taught, but like the programming is not taught, but using the programming, like doing the projects and other stuff, that is really taught here. So it's really good.
Okay, okay. So when you speak about the projects, what kind of projects are we expected to do? And so how these subjects are designed? Since it's a course-based subjects, I just want to know how the project, is it project-heavy subjects or exam-driven subjects, or how does this passing of each subject is it designed, Krishna?
So it's a mixture of like it's a mixture of both projects and also soft and also assignments and also exams. Particularly, few courses are like just like project oriented. Like from the start of the course, we'll just do the project and we'll just concentrate on the project. So the grading and everything happens only on the project, and there might be an exam in the end of the course. Few courses are like more like assignment driven and exam driven. So even the assignments that are offered, each assignment has like individual components which are kind of like like they are more like projects kind of thing. Like at least to AIML side, I could see like few data analysis and kind of stuff on stocks and other things. So those are also like you can individually see the assignments as a project stuff related. So it's a mixture of both assignments, projects,
Right.
courses, exams.
Right. So, as someone who did his undergraduation in India and someone who's doing his masters and doing all his projects, assignments here in Waterloo, what difference do you see? How Waterloo is differing from the way that we do in India? Uh,
So in India, yes, I mean like they are not so much of project oriented, is what I saw at least during my bachelor's. But now I think there is a shift in the curriculum as well in India as well. So, but at least for me specifically, I was not so much into like projects and assignments and kind of environment back in India in my bachelor's. But here, the switch to assignments, it was like kind of like loaded during the first term for me, like to get accustomed to this kind of environment, like projects, assignments, courses. They were a little heavy at the start, but over the time, like while discussing with the professors, while discussing with other friends, it was like smooth. And I'm in the final term right now, so it is really smooth now. Got
Fantastic.
habituated.
Yeah. And can you tell us about the University of Waterloo itself, like the university overall, something that unique that you would have experienced after coming to Waterloo, the overall experience of student life in the university? Can you please tell us about that, Krishna?
Sure. So in University of Waterloo, we have like a lot of events happening and a lot of cultural clubs, even based on like Indian cultural clubs and other stuff. And a lot of I could meet a lot of people in my course, at least from not just from India, even from other countries as well, and even Canadians and US people. So it's a really good exposure for myself. Where in India, I was just like more like rated with the same people, like like the same language people I just met. But here, meeting with other people and other from other countries and other race, it's really I really love the experience. And also there are a lot of happening events every time. So a lot of interaction that happens from not just from our group, even from students from other groups and even undergraduates. We get to discuss how their curriculum is and other stuff. So it's really good
Mm-hmm.
here in university.
Nice, nice. So, in terms of when you are trying to process your student visa and things were taking time, what was the support given from the university side? Like, was there any specific point of contact from the university that can help with the students in terms of processing the visas and helping the students in taking their steps? Because these are all new things for anyone, right? So, just wondering.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. So during my time, at least, I didn't get my visa before I start in fall 2020. So I couldn't travel, and at the same time, I was just like wondering if I can, if the university can help out. And at that time, I just dropped an email to the coordinators that were responsible for it, to the university, and I tried to ask them if they can help out in any way. Then the only option that they gave was I can defer the program. I'm like I can defer the course till I get my visa. If visa is really my category, or like visa is really my condition, then they are ready to defer the program without any problem. So they just removed my program to further. And also at the same time, the visa was not a mandatory thing for me to start my course, because I can start it as an online program. So that was also an option given, but I chose to like do the course in person if possible. So I just wanted to travel to Canada, and
Right.
if possible, so that was the reason I just gave some time to myself and kept on deferring my program a bit. And so that was the support that was provided by the university, like both the program, like it was even offered online, and also at the same time it was offered in person. So I
Right.
just wanted to be in India, sorry,
Right.
be in Canada.
Right, right. So after traveling to Canada, what are the supports that the university provide for international students?
So after traveling to Canada, it was the COVID time, right? So at least for the first 3 days, we had to do the checkup in the, in the government approved hotels, once we landed in Canada. So those 3 days, we booked a hotel for ourselves, individual rooms, and whatever expenses were incurred during those 3 days, those were all covered by the university. So after that 3 days, they gave us transport from those hotels to the university hotels. So they had a tie up with an Radisson hotel. So they moved us from the 3 days hotel to the 11 days hotel. We stayed in the hotel for free and for all the 11 days as well. So it's all the 14-day program. It was completely covered from the university. So that was one kind of support that university has provided us. And also in terms of housing and other stuff, so there is a portal for the student housing portal kind of thing in university, where you can see few ads posted on there, so we can try to search from there. So that is one thing that university provides for the
Right,
housing.
right. And also, is there any student coordinator kind of international student coordinator kind of person whom we can go and meet in case if we have any issues with renewing our visas? Is there any such people there, Krishna?
Yes. So we have student coordinators, kind of. There's a whole team here, and we always keep on receiving emails from the student coordinator or the person. So it's a continuous thing that they keep on tracking us, and whenever we need help, we just can reach out to them. And also there is a kind of IS, the International Student Service, the team is organized in Canada. So we're in my university, so we can just book appointments with them. We can just go and talk regarding our visas or any related stuff. So they are ready to help, and it's really I use their service a lot of times. So
Right,
it was really helpful thing. Yeah.
fantastic. And how was this the support, the overall tuition fees? Can you please give us idea about the tuition fees and related expense?
Sure. So the course is around we can either do it in 3 terms, that's 12 months, or we can do it in 4 terms, around 16 months. So it's all the 8 courses that we need to complete, right? So if we plan to complete the whole course in 3 terms, then each term is costing around 14,000 CAD, 14,000 CAD for each term. So if we try to finish it out in 3 terms, then it would be around 42,000. But if we try to finish it in 4 terms, then it would be 56,000. So that's where the PGWP, the work permit, is going to vary a bit. If we're trying to do it the course in one year, then we might be offered with only 1 year of PGWP. But if we are doing the course in 16 months, it's a non-stop course, it's a continuous course. There is no break during the course. So if we're doing it in 16 months, then we can get 3 years of work permit. So that's a good thing. And also, the last term that we do, the final term, we can do it as a part-time term if we are left out with only one course. Of the 8 courses, if we are left out only with one course, then we can do the final term as a part-time term, and it will not even affect our work permit status, and also it will not affect our study permit status, and also the fees will go down by around 8,000. So even after I'm doing it in 4 terms and getting 3 years work permit, and I'm paying around 50,000 for the whole course, 50,000 CAD for the whole course.
Was there any internship opportunities during the course? Can you do intern?
No. We are not allowed to take any breaks during the course, because it's a continuous 4 terms. There is no break in the term, and there is no break in the whole program. So that is one disadvantage, I would say. But at the same time, we can finish the program very quick, and we can enter the job market. That's a good thing about it.
Right.
16 months.
Yeah. And can you speak about since we are all you came as an international student, can you give an idea of the medical coverage? Was it part of your tuition fees, or you have to spend any additional cost for your medical coverage?
So medical coverage is also included in the 14,000 that I was specifying. 14,000 includes the medical coverage as well. The medical coverage includes the regular medical coverage stuff, and also it includes the optical and other related added expenses as well. So dental is also included, and I have personally used for multiple times, for dental and regular checkups. They're all included, and I have not paid anything from my pocket till now.
Oh, okay.
Everything is included. And also, a good point here is even the fees also covers the local transport. Like
Transport.
it's like completely free for us, and using just our what card, like the ID card, we can just tap and go anywhere in the like city or anywhere.
Right, right, right. Fantastic. So, since there is no internship, how does this job searching works out? I just want to know how do the companies come to campus for any campus placement, or how do the graduates go and search for jobs?
So the graduates, we have our portal like Waterloo Works is one portal wherein continuously the job postings keep on appearing them. So it's only for the University of Waterloo students. So only the university students can access the portal. So that's one way that university helps in. There are also campus fairs that happen wherein we get a chance to like talk with multiple companies, and we get to interact with them, and they try to take our resumes and email IDs wherein we can connect with them on LinkedIn and other places. So that is one way which university helps in. So there's nothing like campus placements, but it's more like campus fairs that happen. So during that time we can just build on some interactions with
Right.
the
So,
companies.
so what kind of roles do graduates from this particular course get into? Maybe the previous graduates from this course, what kind of roles have they got into, Krishna?
So at least personally, I have seen people from AIML side and also from software side, because that's my target area. So there I could see people entering into data analyst, data scientist roles in AIML side, and also they are also entered into ML engineer, AI engineer kind of roles. That is into AIML side, and also through the software side, it's more like software developer engineer, and also front end and back end developers. There are also like a very common ones, and also I could see database related roles, and also AWS Azure related roles. I could see multiple. I mean, like it's a mixture of all the things. So, and also at the same time, electrical side people, they can enter into their domain. I don't have much of exposure towards that side, but I have seen people getting good jobs there as well.
Mhm. So, people who take this course, can they do part-time jobs from the start of the course, or is it only when the last semester when they are left with one course, are they allowed to do part-time job? How does it work?
So here in Canada, we are allowed to work from the day we enter into Canada. So we are allowed to work for 20 hours per week. And even with my course, from the very first term, I can start working either on campus or off campus. There are opportunities on campus as well. There are opportunities off campus as well. Personally, I started working on campus in food services at the start, and then slowly after the first term I can start applying for TA and RA positions, teaching assistant and research assistant positions. So personally I applied for teaching assistant positions in Waterloo, and I could get one teaching assistant position and I could get a good experience in that as well. So on the campus itself I started working from that time itself, and it
Right,
was a
right.
really good thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, since because we were speaking about this part-time jobs and the AI related stuffs, I noticed that one of your mentioning in the and your part of your experience is doing an AI certification from DRDO India. Can you please tell us about the kind of the certification that you did? How do one apply for that certification from DRDO? And can you please tell us about that certification?
Sure. So that specific certification, I actually ended my job in Deloitte in around like March, I remember. So at that time, I wanted to explore AI/ML side kind of thing. So at that time, there was this DRDO opportunity that was there. So I tried to apply for it. There was an exam. There was an exam for getting into the course. So I cleared the exam, and we got into the. I mean, like I got into the program, and the whole program is like for around like 3 months, 3 months program. The course was really intense. I mean, like they were like it was more like online materials and other stuff, and also there were assignments and stuff also provided, and there were quizzes that happen every 2 weeks, 2 weeks at a time. And also once we are done with the course, they again give an exam. They again take an exam. Once we pass the exam, then we get the certification. If not, they would just give the certificate of participation. That is also there. And the whole program cost was around like 12,000 or 15,000. I don't exactly remember. It's around like 15K is what I remember
Right.
for the 3 months course.
So was it available only for people who are working, or can even students who are doing some undergraduation program can also participate in the certification program?
All the students can just take part in the course, and it's more like we just give the exam.
Uh-huh.
We if we pass the exam, they give a list of students who pass the exam, and then we can just enroll into the course.
Right.
Anyone can do it.
Right, right. So is this course similar to the courses that happen in websites like Coursera, where people can interact, discuss in the discussion board, and then clarify their doubts? Is it similar to that, Krishna?
It's
Uh-huh.
similar to the Coursera courses, but I just felt interesting because it's more like offered by the DRDO
Right.
organization. So
Yeah, yeah.
that a particular, I thought it will just add a good weightage to my resume. So I
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
felt
It catches
interesting.
anyone's eyes, right? DRDO, someone has done
So
a certification. We can take a note of that for sure. And
exactly. So
was it necessary that you need to attend those courses in live, or can you attend those video sessions after you come back from work and then you can
we
replay?
can do it anytime. So it's like
Ah,
they also have the recorded sessions, so
right.
we can attend them as well. It's more like recorded sessions, and sometimes they even have the live lectures just to interact with students. It's like kind of
Right.
like a good
Okay.
exposure.
Right. Right. And I also noticed that after coming to Waterloo, you did a certification in entrepreneurship management. So can you please tell us about that certification, Krishna?
Sure, sure. So that certification, I have done it from the University of Waterloo itself. So in as part of 8 courses, which I was saying in my 8 courses, so 5 courses I can do it from EC department, and 3 courses I can do it from any department, right? So all the 3 courses I have done it from business entrepreneurship courses. So we have our Conrad Business School in University of Waterloo. So I have done all the 3 courses. The rest 3 courses I have done it from the business related, because I already had experience. So I wanted to enrich that experience and do some business related stuff. So I have done 3 courses in that. So once we do the 3 courses, so we get a graduate certificate in business entrepreneurship from the University of Waterloo, from Conrad Business School. So that's
Right.
how I acquired that.
Right, right. So, how challenging are these courses in terms of course load? How intense are these courses? How do you find? Is it so much pressure to get those assignments, projects complete, or do you have some more luxury time to enjoy the university life, or how does it work out?
Yeah, like I mean, for the first term, I would say it's like little hard to like manage both the courses and also the enjoying the environment around the Waterloo. So that's like little hard. But I would say like per term, we can take 2 courses or 3 courses. So it is like advised to take only 2 courses so that we maintain our load. But we're also allowed to take 3 courses and do our complete curriculum, to our complete program a little early. So taking 3 courses would actually increase the load because there are a lot of assignments in few courses and also projects. So managing that would be a little hard. But 2 courses is something like manageable, I would say, based on again based on the courses that we choose. So the course load would actually vary. So 3 is like little high. 2 courses is like manageable, along with some part-time work, along with some enjoying the university campus and stuff. Yeah.
Right, right. So, can you tell us about the expense side? Like, how much should one be prepared on a month for a monthly expense to live in Waterloo?
So in Waterloo area near to the university, I would say then it would cost us around like 850 CAD, 850 CAD per month. If you are planning to stay in a private room, like in a 5 bed 2 bath apartments, if you are planning to stay in one particular room, one private room for yourself, then it would cost around like 850 CAD. Including everything, I would say, like including rent, groceries, and some personal expenses like phone bill and other stuff. So these all included, it would cost around like 850. But if you're okay with sharing a room with one more person in your own room, like 2 persons per room, then it would cost around like 600 650 CAD per month.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something which we should be prepared for.
Right, right.
TIC is one thing which will help us, but apart from that, maybe a little bit of part-time work should help
Yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah. Fantastic. And Waterloo University is specifically known for its startup ecosystem. So, what did you find about that particular ecosystem? Since you are also interested in doing this enterprise management, a lot of enterprise related courses you did. So, I'm just wondering how the startup ecosystem, how do you feel, and how for an international student, how they can take part in those activities, and can you please give us some idea on that?
So, true thing that Waterloo is made for startups and other stuff. stuff. So also we have like multiple organizations set up in the university itself, which will help in our career in all, like in our ideas to build up more. And if we have specifically any idea, there are like a lot of pitches that happen here, participating in those pitches. And if we when we try to explain our idea, and also we can get a chance to listen to the others idea. And also they give around like 5,000 CAD for the winners, whoever get the best idea there. So that is also one thing that will encourage us a bit more, and also it'll also be helpful for your startup to, at least a foundation. I would say 5,000 CAD is not a small amount.
Yeah. So,
And
right. Fantastic, fantastic. So, can you tell us about the climate in Waterloo? For someone traveling from Hyderabad, how do you feel the climate difference, and how one should be prepared?
So I would say August, September is like really good season. I mean, like at least now is also like it's like really warm outside, and
Right.
I could say like around 30 degrees with a lot of UV. So it's little hot. I mean, like little hot, really hot, just like our Hyderabad and Indian temperatures. But during the winter time, it's like sometimes it goes like -20 as well, and -25. But having some winter gear which we can buy here, it'll help us a bit, and it's okay. I'm like manageable, and it was a little harsh during the starting 1 month, but after that, you can manage.
Right. How about the food? Do Waterloo campus has Indian food restaurants or groceries, or how do you manage the food shift? Should we
Food,
rely only on Subways, or do we get Indian foods?
no. Food in and around Waterloo, we have a lot of Indian grocery stores, so we can get good food opportunities there. And also, there are a few Indian restaurants here in Waterloo as well, so that will also be fine. And apart from that, even in campus, they give some hampers kind of stuff, like food hampers, which are offered at free of cost from the university. So we can grab some veg hampers and other stuff, Indian food hampers, kind of like which will have like a little bit of canned foods like chole and other stuff, which we can like readily prepare it. So that's like good support from university as well.
Right. Fantastic, Krishna. You have shared a lot of useful information. Just wondering to know if there is anything specific or from your experience you would like to share to the viewers.
Specific to my experience, I would say like yeah, once you come to University of Waterloo or any Canadian university or anything, start applying for TA and RA positions. They will really help us a lot. Either just not in terms of like the earnings, and also in terms of like the growing the teaching experience, and also to interact with a lot of students. We gain a lot of confidence in oneself. So that is one really good experience which I personally had, and I would suggest even all the viewers here to do that. And also apart from that, choosing programs which have like these practical projects and application development kind of like projects, that will really help the students, because even if they are freshers, they can get some good exposure towards that direction, like towards the projects and stuff, like that will really help the students a lot. So
Right.
they
So,
should.
yeah. Since you mentioned about freshers, I thought of asking this question. I'm thinking of asking this question. So, this particular Masters of Engineering in Computer Science, is it recommended for just graduates like who just finished their undergraduation, or is it always advisable to have some years of work experience before they travel, Krishna?
So if they have a similar kind of experience like this like the course curriculum here in masters, and also the course curriculum in bachelors, if they have similar kind of experience, then I would say it is okay for them to immediately travel to for doing masters. But if it is not really matching, then I would suggest them to gain some experience in some Indian company, or any Indian company, and some like that transition would be little smoother, and also they can get some exposure in the companies. Working in the company, they can get some good exposure. And also here, once they are trying to apply for companies, it would be little helpful to them in their resume. It will be good at added weightage if they
Right,
have
right,
experience.
right. From the financial point of view, I thought of asking this one more additional question. Are there any internships? What I want to know is scholarships. Scholarships available for international students to cope up some of the tuition cost is there anything of that sort? Is there anything available for India?
Nothing specifically from university, but there are other scholarships that even university shows it on their website. So we can apply for those scholarships, but that would be really like competitive because a lot of students would be applying for it. Apart from that, our university specifically provides like around 2,500 Canadian dollars as bursary, which would be like little helpful for us like personally, and that is the only thing that
Will they
university.
provide for every single international student? Can they apply and get the bursary?
Yes, like students can apply and they can explain their financial status, and
Right.
if the university really feels that that's a needed thing for them, then for sure university would provide them.
Right. So
So it's something
every
that we apply for it.
right every semester, do students can apply? Every semester they are entitled for this
Um,
2,300.
no, no, no. So it's like 2,500 CAD for the whole course. So
Okay.
that's like the whole during the whole course curriculum. It's
Right.
like only offered only
Only
once.
once. Okay. Okay.
Only once. Anytime,
Right.
like during the whole course,
Right.
we
Right.
can
Right.
just request
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. That's a very good support for sure. And is there any support that we can get from India? Someone can we arrange any financial support from India as someone planning to travel for studies to abroad? Um,
So in India, I personally took my education loan from
right.
SBI. So that's
Okay.
the only way I did. And
Right.
after SBI and all, I mean, like I also had some earnings
Right.
from my like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
4 years of experience. So I
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
some earnings through which I just paid my GIC. So that is also one thing which I
Right,
had.
right, right.
So that is the only
Fantastic,
way.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. GIC for US, GIC is a kind of fixed deposit in India, which we can show it as a financial proof to Canadian authorities for processing the visa applications, everything. Yeah,
That's true.
fantastic,
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, thanks a lot, Krishna. I mean, we have covered a lot of topics, and most of them, I'm sure, they are very unique from your experience, which I'm sure US will be finding it very useful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Venkatesh. Thank you.
Thank you.